Game On Magazine sits in with UJ and SA Under 21 and men's hockey player Tyson Dlungwana. Tyson, thank you for coming on to Game On Magazine.
Thank you for having me.
So Tyson, please tell us a little bit about how you got started in hockey.
So I'm from a little town called Pietermaritzburg. Went to a local school there called Mercuston Prep. And in grade 6 I held my first hockey stick. I played under Brandon Swart, who is currently the Maritzburg College first team coach. From there on he taught me a lot, and this is why I am where I am today.
So Tyson, tell us a little bit about the jump from high school hockey to varsity hockey and then obviously the national team.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, how you adapt to that.
Yeah, so schoolboy hockey is, I want to say, easier obviously, because the level as well is not the same. So jumping from, or moving on rather, from high school into university it's a big jump, and for some it's very hard to adapt to. You know, some guys you'll see they'll only adapt to varsity hockey after maybe 2 years playing there, some guys after 1 year. You know, it just varies on how quickly you can adapt, but it is a big jump because the speed of the game also changes. You know, there's more fitter guys than you. There's, you know, guys who are a little bit more hungrier or the same level as you. And going on to national as well, then the standard is really high. You know, you cannot rock up there unfit. You will stand out if you're not fit. If you've got technical errors, they'll be exposed, you know, during camps and warm-up games, etc., etc. So you almost got to be ready, and you got to prep for those jumps because they are hard.
So how do you go about coping as well as soon as you get into, like, especially you in the UJ side, and then all of a sudden you have to move to the national team? Obviously you're coming into contact with different players from different backgrounds. How do you adapt to that as well?
Yeah, for sure. Team dynamics, that's what it is. So I would regard myself as an extrovert person, so I'm very easygoing. I'll have a conversation with you. So in a team environment, I would like to say I get along with my teammates regardless of they're new or they're old. Obviously the older, you know, the older you are or the more time you spend with the guys, the better the team chemistry is. You know, but it's always good, you know, coming back to your own club after national duty or provincial duty. It's always nice to come back to your friends, and you know, these are the guys that, you know, you play for every single weekend and stuff like that.
Staying with the national team duty, please tell us a bit about the World Cup in India.
Yeah, so last year, 2016, we went over to Lucknow. Not the best place in India, but you know, we were there and we made the most of it. Some of the highlights there as well is we played India in a packed stadium. You know, the crowd was wild. The atmosphere, everything, just walking onto the pitch, you know, fireworks going the side, and you know, like, it gets to a point where you don't even think, you're just going to do the job, which is, you know, it gives you a nice rush in the body as well. It's, you know, India was amazing.
While you were in India, how did you deal with, like, the nerves obviously of playing on foreign land against top players from around the world?
That was something we addressed as a team as well, and we said we went about going as we're going to play with no fear. I'm fortunate enough that this is my second tour overseas. You know, I've experienced countries like Zambia where, you know, where what can go wrong will go wrong. So I want to say I was used to that environment of foreign, you know, land. You got to adapt to the weather. I mean, it was winter when we played, and we left the country when it was summer. You know, the sun doesn't really set there as quickly as it does here. You know, things like that we have to just adjust to. And you know, for us, we said as a group that, you know, that's not going to affect us, and we're going to do as well as we can with these top players around the world rather.
Please, sticking on adapting, actually, as a student, how do you keep a hold of, like, your studies and as well as balance it with your playing, obviously in the national team and in the UJ first team? How do you keep that going?
It's very difficult because you also have to be consistent in your training and in your practicing, whatever you may be doing. Lucky enough, I got a manager here who helps me out with sort of my personal life. Her name is Elise LaRue. So, you know, if it's any maybe advice to anyone, it would be, you know, get yourself a planner and get yourself a routine. You know, when I was in school, the routine was already set. You know, 6:30 in the evening, I'm gonna have my dinner at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna shower, whatever it may be. You know, whereas in varsity, it's very easy going and no one really tells you what to do. But if I can say that, you stick to your program, and Monday at 8 o'clock, I got to be at the gym, or I got to be at class, and like you try stick to it as best as you can. That way you won't go off the rails, and maybe not procrastinate as much as most people do.
Please tell us as well about what a typical day in Tyson's life is like.
Yeah. So I want to say I wake up in the morning, not too early. 8 o'clock I'm up. 8:30 I'm in the gym. Spend about an hour in the gym. Then I go shower, eat, go to class, come back. My class finished rather early, so I can toy around them. After class I come back. I definitely have to sleep, squeeze in a nap, a 2-hour nap or whatever it may be, and then I get ready for practice. Depending on what times I practice, I will also cook my dinner. So for after practice I come back, I eat, or before that I will go to practice and then only cook afterwards, and then once I'm back, call it a night.
So Tyson, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Ooh, it's a long time. Hopefully I would have done and completed my degree. I would like to go overseas sometime to obviously carry on playing hockey, and yeah, I'm also looking to get involved with the next coming major events. 2018 is a World Cup, 2019 is Commonwealth Games, 2020 is Olympic Games. So those are highlights, and that's something I'm also working towards.
So what advice would you give to young kids that are coming through the ranks to maybe one day find themselves in your position?
Firstly, don't lose the love for the game. I think the moment you don't really want to play the sport, then you will not enjoy it. So don't lose love, and do not lose passion for the sport. I also want, if I'm telling someone, they must realize that consistency it's key. The moment you start slacking, that's when other guys catch up to you. And that's how it is. Guys were probably, some of them were nothing at school, and today, they're in the men's setup. Or some guys, I want to regard myself in that perspective, have been consistent throughout the years, making national teams since under 16, all the way to U21s. Those guys have been consistent, and some guys have fallen off that trail because maybe they haven't been working as hard as the next person. So you might be doing 5 reps, another guy might be doing 10. So don't lose consistency.
Tyson, thank you so much for coming on to Game On Magazine.
Thanks for having me.